Hi, my name is Leroy Johnson. I'm the Transfer Center Coordinator here at San Diego Mesa College. And I'm glad you're able to watch this because we have a lot of important information to share with you about transfer opportunities and information about the Career Center and our evaluations department. We have a lot of important things coming up, and this is the same presentation that we use going around to classrooms, and this is your opportunity to see the same things online. You can see what some of the new programs are, the dates and deadlines, have some of the information about our transfer fairs, bus trips that we're offering this semester. So lots going on, and we want to try to get the word out to everyone to make sure everybody is up to date on what we're doing. So our very first look is, as I said, we're called How to Make Sure You're Ready to Transfer. And we'll start taking a look at some of the options for us. And I wanted to start, and this is the same kind of a presentation we give going into classrooms, with a little quiz. So we're calling this like a pre-quiz. And I usually ask people in a classroom, can they answer these kind of questions? And so we have questions like, how many UC tags can I apply for? When is the UC tag deadline? What defines a local area student for San Diego State University? What are my best options for applying to SDSU? What is the CSU application deadline? When are the SDSU and UC supplemental applications due? And when are the fall transfer fairs? So I'm going to give you those answers so we can actually have that information up front, and then we're going to kind of reinforce it as we go through the PowerPoint. So that very first one, how many UC tags can I apply for? Only one. You can apply for one UC tag, and it has to be done in the month of September, just before the November when you apply to the UC schools. So only one UC tag. Second one, when is UC tag deadline? September, but September 30th. So September 1st through the 30th will be those dates we could actually submit that tag contract by. And what defines a local area student for SDSU is going to be students who are south of Highway 56, right? And we're south of Highway 56 across to the eastern border of the state are going to be students who are local area students for San Diego State. What are my best options for applying to SDSU? We're going to look at 3 ways we can transfer. The best option would be a transfer admission guarantee. The second option would be an associate degree for transfer. And the third option is going to be what we call the general transfer pathways. And what is the CSU application deadline? That's going to be November 30th. These applications are open October 1st to November 30th. When are the SDSU and UC supplemental applications due? Those are both going to be due at the end of January. So we don't have the exact dates, but we'll say January 31st, but at the end of January. And when are the fall transfer fairs? We have 2 fairs this year. First year we're doing that. One is going to be October 4th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And the second one's going to be November 15th from 4 p.m. until 7 p.m. So one a daytime fair in October, nighttime fair in November. So 60 is our magic number. 60 units is the minimum for transfer to a public university, and it's the minimum to get an associate's degree. And all students should be able to do both of those things at the same time. And we've got a note here about the SB 1456, where ed plans are required for students as part of being a community college student. So one thing everyone needs to do is make sure they go to their counselor in general counseling and get an education plan completed. We also now, starting last semester, are doing education plans in the transfer center, but you have to first come into the transfer center and use either the career or the transfer services to be eligible for an ed plan through the transfer center. And the components of an ed plan are general education, one of the gen ed patterns like IGETC or the CSU GE pattern, electives if you need them, and the big piece is getting your major requirements from assist.org. So I'm going to show you that link to assist.org. That's a pretty important one. So assist.org allows us to actually look at the major requirements in different areas. So we'll start out by going to San Diego Mesa College, and we'll pick our friend campus, San Diego State, and we'll take one of their big majors. I'll go with that one, emphasis in financial services under business administration. And this is going to tell us exactly which classes to take for that particular major. So if we notice on the right-hand side of the page, we have San Diego Mesa College, and the left-hand side is San Diego State. So this is set up to tell us that Business 140 at Mesa College is equivalent to Finance 240 at San Diego State. So we're basically needing to complete any of those, or in this case, all of those classes that are in the right-hand column. So when I take Accounting 116A at Mesa, again, it's the same as Accounting 201 at San Diego State. And so this allows the students at Mesa College to complete the same curriculum they would complete if they went to San Diego State as a freshman in the 2 years. And we've got 9 classes listed, right, for that business major. So a business major with that emphasis in financial services has to complete all of these classes on the right-hand side, in addition to one of those general education patterns in order to meet the transfer requirements to go to San Diego State. So that's kind of an example for us of what you would need to do. So again, meeting with a counselor to get that ed plan, or coming into the transfer center once you'd actually access the services. And again, minimum of 60 units to complete that. One of the interesting pieces is that there's a guaranteed degree that you can complete, and it guarantees you get admitted to one of the CSU campuses. So we've got 23 CSU campuses. One is San Diego State, another one is Cal State San Marcos. One of the others would be Cal State University Bakersfield. So if I complete one of these associate degrees for transfer, I'm not guaranteed admission to San Diego State because they may be impacted and have too many people who've actually completed that requirement. But I am guaranteed admission to one of the 23 Cal State universities in that major that I completed this associate degree for transfer. So in a lot of ways, it's a good thing to do because it increases your likelihood of being admitted to one of the CSUs. It just doesn't guarantee a specific CSU. The thing that would do that for us was when we looked at that UC tags, if we complete a University of California tag, we get a specific campus and a specific major. So that's one of the differences. But this does guarantee the Cal State system. And there's our link to the website is this one that's a degree with a guarantee. So the transfer deadlines are really big. So these, we definitely want to make sure everybody knows. Starting next month, if I'm going to submit a UC tag, I have to finish that UC tag contract online by September 30th, 2016, so that I can be at, for example, UC Riverside in fall of 2017. That second one listed, the CSU and UC applications are due by November 30th. So they're kind of separate. That big deadline is November 30th, but the UC application is only open the month of November. The Cal State University application is open the months of October and November, but they both end November 30th. So that's our big deadline to keep in mind. We've got supplemental applications. SDSU has a supplemental application, that third bullet, and the UC systems, and particularly there's a specific one for UC Berkeley. So that last or fourth bullet says UC and UCB transfer academic updates, and they're due at the end of January. So the UC one usually a little later, and San Diego State a little bit earlier in that month of January. So I've got these listed as deadlines. If I miss one of these, I can't do them, right? If I don't get that tag turned in by September 30th, I don't have a tag contract for UC. If I miss that November 30th deadline for CSU or UC, I don't go anywhere, right? Because I haven't turned in the application. If I turned in the application November 30th and didn't meet that supplemental or that academic update deadline, I'm still not going anywhere. So I have to have like 2 or 3 of these things depending on what my options are. And they have to take place at the right time frame. So super important, so everybody pay close attention to those deadlines. And what about the UC or SDSU transfer admission guarantee? So let's take a look at the UC one. We'll pull up a UC tag. So here's an example of the 6 campuses that are eligible for UC tags. And remember, we have to submit that tag in the month of September. And write down here key dates and deadlines. September 1st through 30th is when you submit your tag. So as long as I meet the requirements, I could submit a tag and be guaranteed admission to one of those 6 UC schools. And I have step 1 of the tag contract, step 2 of the application, November 30th, and step 3 of the UC academic update, January 31st. If I miss a step, it's not good, right? Got to have all 3 of those steps to make sure I actually have a tag contract completed. And this is pretty interesting. I probably should point this out to people too. We've got a program called the UCSD University Link Program, and that's only for first-year college, community college students. And what this does is, this is also a guarantee to UCSD, and it's a really simple online application. Only like 4 pages. We do it in a workshop, but it's got a couple of caveats that are part of it. You have to have an income that's $40,000 or less to qualify. You would have to be in your first year at a community college. If you're a veteran or foster youth, no income requirements, no time requirements. So if you're a former or current foster youth or a veteran, you have an easier route to be able to do this. The required GPA is 3.5. And if you have all the requirements, then you get that guaranteed admission to UCSD. So that's kind of a powerful piece and a way to have multiple guarantees to some of these systems. I've seen students have a transfer guarantee to San Diego State. They've had a UC transfer admission guarantee to UC Irvine, and they also have a guarantee to UCSD with the University Link. So we could have 3 of those, and then choose any one we wanted to actually pursue. A little more about the SDSU tag. And probably the biggest thing I could say about the SDSU tag is that we actually complete it during the application. So when we turn in that application between October 1st and November 30th, at the bottom of screen 7, there's, am I participating in a transfer admission guarantee? I check the yes box, and they go through and check all these requirements and make sure you've actually met them. So it's called the paperless contract, and we can submit those pretty easily during that application time frame. And here's an example of that SDSU local area I said, where it's south of Highway 56, across to our eastern border of the state. So folks that are in those areas, when you take your college classes in that area, then you have priority admissions to San Diego State. And if we look at above Highway 56, folks that take their classes above that borderline that go to Palomar, Miracosta, and Mount San Jacinto, they're in the service area for CSU San Marcos. So all 23 of the CSUs work with this same kind of a system of having a service area. So some important upcoming dates I wanted to share with everybody. Again, September 1st through 30th is UC Tag contracts are due. September 9th, we actually have a bus trip to UC Santa Barbara That'll be a Friday, so if you're interested in UC Santa Barbara, here's a great opportunity to go and see the campus. October 1st to November 30th, the CSU applications are due. Some of this is repeated, which is a good thing because that way we won't forget. October 4th, we have our first transfer day in front of the Math and Science Quad from 10 to 1. October 14th to 15th, we have an overnight bus trip to UC Davis, right? First time we've done an overnight bus trip. So if you're interested in UC Davis, you could attend that. November 15th is going to be our transfer night fair from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Again, in front of in that Math and Science Quad. And that last bullet, UC applications are open. They're actually open right now, but you can only submit them November 1st through November 30th. So just a little more information about the Mesa College Transfer Center. We're located in I-4306, third floor of the Student Services Building. Our phone number, Facebook page and web page, and some of the things that we do here to transfer workshops, the representatives from UCSD, we have special events, we have computer stations available for students to use for things they need to do here at the college. We're co-located with the Career Center. Same location, different phone number. We've got the Career Center webpage, and some of the services the Career Center offers are employment listings, career exploration, job readiness help, career software and online resources, and workshops, and our annual Career Opportunities Expo. And last, we're also here with evaluations. Again, I-4306, third floor, phone number different. And some of the services that are offered by the evaluations office are graduation petitions, getting your general education certifications for CSU and for UCs, academic petitions for things like retaking a class that you wanted to retake and already have a C grade in, and program completion petitions. If you have any questions, we'd like you to come and meet our staff. We're in I-4306 on the third floor. Hours are Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Fridays, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Thanks for watching, and I hope this was really useful for you. A lot of super important deadlines. You have to make sure you remember those so you can watch this again. We've got those same deadlines listed on our webpage. And if you have any questions at all, please feel free to stop by the Transfer Center, Career Center, and our Evaluations Department. We're co-located in I-4306, third floor of the Student Services Building, the I-400 building. Thanks.